Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 3BeerPod. It is Chris and Tim. How you doing tonight there, Timmer?
Oh, bud, feeling good. Nice and sunny night. Where are you at tonight?
I'm outside. I took the show on the road.
I missed the memo on that one today.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's
It's a
beautiful.
beauty day in southwestern Ontario.
Yeah, so I'm out here with my pooch, and we just did some fertilizing in the lawn and having a beverage and getting ready for the pod tonight.
Classic spring chores today. That's fantastic. I hope the weather sticks around and we get outside and do some chores and have a couple beers.
Yeah, looking good for the weekend. We'll get a couple days of rain here in southwestern Ontario, but welcome to it. Episode number 4 of the 3BeerPod. Thanks for tuning in. Natterjack Brewing Company is going to be our guest here tonight, and they are standing by, so we'll check in with them here in a couple of minutes. I guess let's first of all talk about the elephant in the room, Tim. What's with the new headset? Look at that.
Oh, buddy, check this out.
Nice.
My beautiful wife, Shauna, said that I needed to look as good as Chris McLeod on the pod and ordered me up this on the old Amazon and came in and we're giving it a whirl here. I feel it's a little weird to start. I feel like I'm launching myself into space here. It's the everyday of Chris McLeod, but feeling good.
I love that. BJ's tuning in tonight. Hey, buddy.
Oh, BJ.
Thanks for tuning in. BJ's wife is the mastermind behind our logo that you see up there in the corner of the screen. So we got to give her a shout out for that too. Hey, Beach, thanks for tuning in, buddy. We have to have beers again real soon. We're missing that. BJ, yep, there he is. Good luck, Timmer. And Denny from Red Barn is tuning in. We're actually going to talk about Red Barn.
Check out the shirt too.
Come up a little bit. It's on the other side there.
Oh,
there
yeah.
You go.
Wrong way. The mirror image is really throwing me off. Thanks, man.
That's so funny.
My name on my shirt.
Looking good. All right, the 3BeerPod, it is episode 4. It is sponsored by me over at Realty Connects. And of course, if you're looking to buy or sell a house, I can help you out. I'd love to do that. And of course, anybody that buys or sells a house with me successfully, we will buy you a 6-pack of beer. So what do you want to start with, Timmer? I guess we should start with what you drinking, bud, here tonight. And what are you drinking tonight, bud?
Oh, we've mentioned Refined Fool here before on the real name, fake name. This is the Canatera. Oh, Canatera from Refined Fool. It is what does it say here? A fruity, dry, and refreshing tart ale with liquid oats, the summer spent in the beloved local park of Canatera. So looking forward to that here tonight. We'll get this cracked open here.
Nice. Well, I'm a little ahead of you here. I've already jumped into it. I'm drinking a Capital Blonde Ale from Forked River Brewing Company, and they're in London, Ontario. Can you see that there?
Awesome little brewery in London.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's a good sized brewery.
I don't have any background like you did, so I feel well-crafted American Blonde Ale, clean, simple, and balanced. Yeah, I'd have to agree. So thank you, guys. So what you drinking, bud, here tonight? All right, Timber, let's get into this. We got some beer buzz here today. We got some really good stuff to talk about here tonight on the beer buzz and news that's going on in the world of beer. So first of all, the beer store across Ontario, they have now opened up 200 locations for returns because they had obviously canceled that for the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. They opened up 70. There was a couple local, and then now they've opened up 200, which is about half the beer stores in Ontario for returns. So there are local ones in southwestern Ontario, speaking specifically. Chatham's doing it every day through the week at Richmond Street. But Blenheim, Tilbury, Ridgetown, Wallaceburg stores are now doing returns on Mondays and Wednesdays. And if you're anything like me, you've got lots of empties to
so get the empties back. Help everybody out, get them refilled up here.
For sure. Tim, is that a bowling shirt?
It is a bowling shirt. This was Chris and I wore this to the Festival of Giving in Chatham last year.
That's right.
A name on it.
I love it. Thanks, Lynn.
I like it.
And Christina says, yeah, what I'll look like without a haircut. I think she's referring to this guy right here.
Yeah.
Feeling like. All right, also on the beer buzz here tonight, coronavirus causing $1 billion worth of beer to go bad. This is scary. Business Insider says millions of gallons of beer is going bad because of the coronavirus. The beer is expiring in untapped kegs around the U.S. Bars and restaurants could see $1 billion loss from the spoiled beer. Much of the beer was produced for St. Patrick's Day and March Madness. And obviously.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I was thinking about that one yesterday, actually, in Toronto. A few of my favorite places to go are Bar Hop, which has 30, 40 beers on tap, and Craft in Toronto, which has over 100 beers on tap. And all of those, I was wondering what the heck they're doing with all that beer. And I wish I could help them out more than I can right now.
You're only one man, Tim. You are but one man.
Makes me kind of sad.
That's so
what
funny.
can you do with it? Can we fill up some growlers and get them out the door?
Hey, we'll do whatever we can. I love this story. This story made me laugh quite a bit. In Chicago, there's breweries that are scrambling, much like breweries across North America. They're scrambling on different ideas and strategies to get their beer to customers. And we've got a link, which we're going to talk about coming up in a little bit. But there is a brewery in Chicago, Goose Island Brewing Company. Have you had Goose Island?
I have. I've been to the brewery in Chicago.
Yes, very good, very good. So they have dispatched a black van that's got their logo on it and a phone number on the side. And every weekend, it drives around neighborhoods in Chicago playing ice cream music. If customers call the phone number on the van, they'll make a stop and they'll deliver beer to your door.
That's amazing. And that's a solution right there.
Yep.
To the full kegs of beer. We get a van.
Yep.
We get a tap on it, and we drive around to neighborhoods, socially distance, and we'll see how it works.
All over Ontario.
I think we should start here in Chatham with Sons of Kent. Bayside could get on board as well. Mm-hmm. And I think we got something here, guys.
We'll branch out from there. Now, this isn't beer related, but I wanted to talk about this. In Belgium, they're asking citizens to start eating French fries at least twice a week, as more than 750,000 tons of potatoes are at risk of being thrown away. The Belgian potato industry is facing a long-term crisis because of the pandemic. So they've been shut down, much like we have since mid-March, and they don't want these potatoes to go bad. So, again, we are but one man, but we will do what we can.
Right. Or we make beer with the potatoes. Refined Fool has made they made a beer with potatoes in it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Can't remember what it was called. It was something. I don't know.
It was
had a couple. They put beer. They put potatoes in it. We can help. We can eat. We can make beer with it. We got this, guys. Let's band together as a world and make this happen.
I've been helping Belgium with poutines here for years, so I will keep up what I can do. Did you want to talk what can get delivered right now? You want to hit on this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. What do you got?
I was sent this link. We got sent a couple links this week. I pull it up there. The Ontario Beer Festival, which I have been to three or four times now. Nice summer event. Put out a link to a bunch of beers. A bunch of breweries and how you can get their beer during this time. Now, we know that these breweries, we can't walk into most of them and get beer like we used to, but now you can get them delivered, which is pretty awesome. And there's an extensive list of how you can get beer. They'll ship it locally. They'll ship it down to you. My wife has some beer coming for me on Thursday. Oh. This is exciting times in the Regan household. She has not and will not tell me where it's coming from, and that's a fun game to play for your spouse. So, ladies, I suggest going to this link and finding a brewery that delivers to your area or has local pickup or curbside, and surprise your other half.
Or vice versa. Vice versa. Right?
Yeah,
why not?
That's good. eBay's on board there. It says it's bridge fries. I knew there was some bridge. I knew it was something.
There you go. And here's a lovely Shauna.
That's my beautiful wife who's getting beer delivered. And I think it's a great idea, Shauna. And once a week would be fantastic. You heard it here first.
once a week. Just going to throw that out there. That's
Speaking of beer deliveries, Darren Eber, who just chimed in there, might be the king of beer deliveries right now. Every week he is telling me about different beers that he is getting delivered. And it's fantastic. So he's taking advantage of this website, and you should too.
Supporting the economy. It's there in the comments here on what you're watching right now. Real quickly before we get to our guest, should mention too that we're now on YouTube as well. So we are streaming live on the Facebook, which a lot of you are probably watching right now. But we are on YouTube as well. You can you subscribe, you can do all that stuff right there. But the archives are Facebook and YouTube. You can find it. So should we bring in our guest, Tim? You got anything else?
No. Oh, wait a second. All unlocked. Yes, we should bring in our guest. I have one job. One job.
Okay. Do you want to try this again?
Yeah.
Here are our guests tonight. There we go. There's the doorbell. Let's pull in.
Nailed it.
Danielle and Rachel Seuss from Natterjack Brewing Company in West Lorne. Good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
No problem.
Welcome, guys.
It's really cool to have you here. And Tim and I have both been out to Natterjack here in the last little while. And I guess, first of all, we'll let you explain. Give us the details. Where do we find Natterjack Brewing Company?
Okay. So Natterjack Brewing Company, we're located in West Lorne, but actually we're in the hamlet of Eagle. It still encompasses the town of West Lorne, which is about a 5-minute drive. So we're not that far off the 401. We're along Highway 3, kind of along the north shore of Lake Erie.
Yeah, for sure. And how long has Natterjack been there in Eagle, just outside of West Lorne?
So September 2018 is when we opened up. So we're
Very
coming up
cool.
on our second full year here in September.
That is awesome. I got to know Natterjack. My son played hockey out in West Lorne quite a bit this year, so we'd come early, head down the road, grab a growler or two. I actually just finished a growler here the other day, and it's a really cool story in the background on Natterjack and how it all came to be. Can you tell us what that's all about? Give us the background.
Yeah, so Natterjack was formed from my brother's unfortunate passing. He was a brewmaster, or he went through the brewmaster program at Niagara College. He worked at why do I always forget the name of it? It's in St. Thomas. Railway City Brewing Company. Sorry. So he worked at Railway and got into the program at Niagara College, completed that, and then worked for a short stint, only a couple weeks, with Alexander Keith. They have a traveling brewery on a 53-foot semi-trailer for shows. Yep. And then he had a job at Muskoka and decided to stay with Muskoka Brewing up in Bracebridge. And so he was working with the brewers, working in the lab. And then unfortunately, about 6 months after, he passed due to medical complications. So it was at that point in time we figured that, the beer was so good, we can't just leave it on a piece of paper. So I actually contacted Muskoka Brewing. I think I got a bottle right here. And we brewed with, you see that? Everybody see that?
Pull you up here.
We brewed this at Muskoka.
Nice.
So this is the Natterjack Toad. Sorry, that's kind of got a little bit of a glare on it there. So we brewed about 4,000 liters and sold all 4,000 liters in less than a month, I think it was.
Wow.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks we sold everything. Muskoka was shipping truckloads to our house, and we were unloading it in the shop, and people were coming and picking it up from us. So yeah, it was just really surreal that that kind of opened up our eyes to the industry and why Matt really loved it. We thought about going the contract route and just didn't feel it would be the right way to go. So we went with the full brewery. Obviously, it's a little different than what if Matt had done it. He would have bought, he was looking at equipment. He would have looked at a different old building or something. We ended up building a brand new building. A family friend owned the building, or not the building, but the lot that we built on. And then, yeah, we found a supplier for the equipment, made contact for that, and just one thing after another, and we pushed and pushed and pushed. It took about 2 years to get up and running. It takes a long, long time with the paperwork, but that's where we are now.
We got some more questions, Tim. Before we get to those, let's crack into one. What are we going to try here first? What do you want to try?
Let's try the lager.
Okay.
We got it here. Some freshly bottled lager for us. Appreciate that. Let's try this out here.
You guys want to give us a little background? What's the lager? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the lager is actually not one of Matt's original recipes. It's actually a recipe me and Rachel created. We wanted something, at first we thought, okay, we got Natterjack Toad and Seuss's Juices, which are great beers, but opening a brewery, and we weren't the brewers, he was. We thought we better actually make something and see how to do this. So we bought a homebrew system, and actually we homebrew at home still to do our test batches.
Nice.
So this is a peat smoked malt that is in the beer. We tried it with a couple other different smoked malts. It just wasn't very pleasant. So then we sort of went with the peat smoked and played around with it. And on take number 55, I don't know what we were a lot of batches went down the drain.
It was a lot.
That's what we ended up with, and people just loved it. So
you guys,
we stuck with it. It became one of our first 3.
you guys use some kind of different ingredients that I haven't stumbled upon, and one of them is pistachios. Where the heck did that come from for an ingredient in a beer?
That's Matt. The true story behind that actually is he had his friends. They were in Niagara College. That was his beer that he used for Project Brew. And if you've never done Project Brew, it's something to go and check out. It's all the students' final project, and there's a grant or a scholarship at the end for the winner. So it'd be 18 beers. That was Matt's Project Brew beer. It didn't win that year, but everybody really liked it. So yeah, we started brewing it. That's what we brewed at Muskoka as well. But he made all his friends sit in front of a TV while they played video games, cracking pistachios.
Yeah, I was going to say, where do you source that many pistachios?
Meanwhile, like the school would have bought the pistachios already cracked. That's just Matt, though.
Yeah.
But we do source them. We have a supplier that we have in London, and we actually get already shelled pistachios in like 10 or 15 kilogram boxes. So
that's way more than convenient than sitting around cracking them at the bar in the brewery.
We still have to grind them up a bit, but yeah, we put about 40 kilograms of pistachios in Natterjack Toad. So in 1,000 liters, there's 40 kilograms.
That's a lot.
So yeah, it's expensive, but if you're gonna make beer, you might as well make good quality beer, and that's where we're going with it, right?
And one of the things that, excuse me, is that when we talk about beer and we come up with the 3BeerPod, it's not about getting rip-roaring drunk every weekend. It's more about, obviously, good beer, but it's the times you have with friends and the stories that come out of those conversations. And that's, to back up a little bit, the background from Natterjack and the whole story with your brother, and now it's a family operation. It's a really, really neat story. So did you guys have any brewing experience, or was it all Matt's idea?
Zero brewing experience.
Wow.
I do all the brewing now, and I'm self-taught. So
I think
really,
a big thing when we first started and we started test batching, and before we went to the big brew system, after Matt passed away, a lot of his school friends were so willing to come and help teach Dan how to brew and all these tricks and stuff. When we got our equipment, one of Matt's good friends, who now is a brewer at Anderson's, came and helped Dan, and the first batch didn't go well, and thankfully Matt's friend was here to help Dan get through it. And just from that, it's, this big learning curve that all of Matt's friends were able to help. So it's those relationships that you make that craft.
I think that's the great part of this story too, is that people came together to make this brewery happen in his name, and I think that's so awesome. This was a brewery that we both stumbled upon on separate occasions. I was coming back from Niagara Falls and actually stopped at Railway on the way, and then kind of stumbled upon Natterjack, and I think that's the beauty of your location, is a nice weekend drive where you end up seeing a brewery. How many of your guests do that same type of thing, that they just stumble upon you, didn't even know that you exist?
Yeah, we watch how many times they U-turn. I should have a camera set up. I can make millions on YouTube. Oh, look at that guy U-turning. Oh, there's traffic coming. Is he really going to stop at the stop sign and back up 25 feet? Yep, he is.
Go ahead.
We have an ongoing joke all the time, and it's like, oh, he's going to stop at the stop sign. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's coming. And they literally back up 100 feet down the road and drive traffic, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that was my first visit. That was me. I'm sure you've got some.
Oh, There you
Yeah,
go.
that was me. That was me. I got to ask because you mentioned Highway 3 and coming down Highway 3. We were talking to Red Barn Brewing out of Blenheim, which is not open yet, but they were our guest in episode number 2, and he was talking about how you guys are going to team up with some canning maybe, and maybe you can get into that. But he was saying too, the idea of hitting Red Barn, heading down Highway 3 out of Blenheim, hitting Natterjack, and then making your way to St. Thomas. It's kind of like a beer trail, and you're going to see a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and we actually pass on. So there's another brewery in St. Thomas that just opened up within the last year, and Caps Off Brewing. I don't know if anybody's been there. Rick and Fran are great. They stopped here at our grand opening, and they were standing over by our bright tank, and I was walking around, and he kind of waved me over, and so I went over and shook his hand, and he's like, "Congratulations!" He goes, "Just so you know, we're going to open a brewery," and right from there, we started a relationship or a friendship, and we've helped them with different things. We've done a collaboration brew. Rick came out. Denny was supposed to come from Red Barn. He did end up coming later on, but we did it with Niagara College for Project Brew. And so, yeah, we work together with everybody as much as we can, right? It's awesome. We try to suggest, hey, if you're going that way, check that out. You're going, unfortunately, Red Barn's not open, drive by.
Yeah.
You know where it is next time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. I just want to interrupt that. I poured beer number 2.
Oh, okay. I got to catch up here. What?
Just a sample. These are just a sample. I did not drink. Just for the record, people question this every week. I did not drink all. This is a 700 ml bottle, is it not? Or is it 650?
500 milliliters.
500. Oh, my bad.
What are you drinking now? What are you drinking?
This is the Toad Evaporation. What's going on with that one?
You want to do that? Go ahead, Rich. Okay. She doesn't like telling about my beers. So Toad Evaporation is actually a community type beer. It's actually no water in the beer. It's all maple sap from our own trees.
Wow.
And one of the guys down the street, he's actually my neighbor. He was in the brewery and we were talking about it. He goes, "Well, I haven't tapped my trees yet. Do you need more sap?" And I said, "Well, if you got sap, I'll take it." So we ended up with about 500 liters of sap.
Wow.
And that was all brought to the brewery in 5-gallon pails.
Really?
Every night. And so we kept it going into the fermenter, kept it cold. And then a local farmer has a maple syrup operation. We used their syrup in the finish. And then there's some wood chips and stuff in there, some oak and maple chips to finish it off. And, it's not quite as much maple as I'd like, but it's still a work in progress. Like next year we'll improve it, right? So
you know what I like? It's not overly maple. Like I've had maple beers where it feels like you're drinking Aunt Jemima right out of the bottle. And that's not what this is. You can get the hint of the maple, but it's not overpowering you. Like this is something that you could drink a couple of and not feel like you're having waffles with at the same time. It's easy drinking. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice and light too. It's 4%. So.
Mm-hmm.
Denny's jumping in from Red Barn. He does have a question for you guys. He wants to know, where's Grandma tonight?
Grandma's on lockdown.
Yeah, Grandma's on lockdown, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A couple people had actually passed away from COVID in her building, so.
Oh, wow.
She's stuck inside, unfortunately.
Well, with that you mentioned, JJ's got a question here. He wants to know, how has the brewery adapted to the COVID restrictions? Any major changes to the way that you're doing business?
Yeah, so we reduced our hours. So normally we are just Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday operations, but we reduced it to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we're only open 12 till 5. We've done that. Obviously nobody can have gatherings in the facility anymore, so we are missing our one-on-one talks with our customers coming in and sitting down and really getting that community feel here at the brewery. We are only curbside, or you can come in, but we do limit the amount of people coming into the brewery. But yeah, so we've had to do that. Lucky for us, we really haven't ventured out to the restaurants and licensees yet, so we don't have the mountains of draft beer hanging around. So we're not in the dumping beer business yet.
That's good.
So we're just cans. We are doing growler fills of what we have. We are running out of some things, but Dan is brewing this week. And what else? We're doing free local deliveries to our area within West Lorne, Rodney, and Dutton. And then we are working on an online store that should be up and running in the next couple weeks. We've just been fine-tuning that.
With being in West Lorne, and I guess just outside in Eagle specifically, do you find that's a hindrance being in a small town, or does that help, or does it matter at all?
I think like we miss the market that Chatham or St. Thomas has, but we get a huge traveling market. So a lot of our, like especially Highway 3, as we were mentioning before, a lot of people are just driving and want to get out of the city, and they stumble upon these little things like there's the brewery, there's the Crazy 8 barn, and all these things along Highway 3 that people are liking, and they like to stop. So we do have a lot of that. A lot of people from town like to get out of town.
Yeah.
So West Lorne, Rodney, and Dutton aren't that big. They enjoy coming out and having a beer with friends, and then going home just before dinner. So
I think that's the feel that I got when I went to the brewery. Both times that I've been there before this all hit, was sitting at the bar and just talking to you guys. And I think the last time I was there, one of your suppliers of your hops that grows the hops was sitting at the bar with
Mike and Emily.
Yeah, we were talking with them, and Denny mentioned Grandma. I think Grandma came through with an aunt maybe or something when I was there.
Like Mary, probably.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I was sitting there with my fellow homebrewer that I brew with, Rob Carlton. We were sitting at the bar. Turns out we were talking to your mom and dad, and then Grandma came through, and Aunt came through. That's the feel that we got when we were at Natterjack, and that's what I'm hoping for when this kind of settles out again, to come and visit you guys in the brewery. And I'd recommend that for anybody, just to get that feel of what Natterjack's all about.
Selfie with Grandma, because that's the big thing to do. She's been every time she goes somewhere and she's near a brewery, she goes gets a selfie with the owner.
That's awesome.
Beer selfies with Grandma.
That's awesome.
JJ wants to know how much to deliver to Grand Point.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend. We know JJ has no friends, so that's fine. It's outside of Pancor, just north of Chatham, so for sure. I got to ask about. So one of the things I was always told. So my son played hockey this year in West Lorne, so that's how I found it, and I hadn't been to West Lorne in years. The West Lorne Arena has got the best canteen, bar none, in southwestern Ontario. Who is it?
Cool's Kitchen.
People come in. I walked in. I thought, what is happening? It's like he's playing bantam hockey. It's there should be no fans there, and it was packed. And I thought, what is happening here tonight? No, it was West Lorne coming for dinner. Yeah. They come to the arena for dinner. I love that. Best poutine, Timmer. If when arenas open up again, we're gonna have to go there for the poutine. And is the name changing? Did I get that right? Are you changing the name of the arena?
Yes. It will be changing. Yeah, they just they had to delay the name change, or I don't know if they're delaying the name change, but the whole ceremony that was going to happen won't happen until next year now.
Yeah, it's the Bo Horvat Arena, right?
Bo Horvat Arena, yeah.
Yeah, and Bo's got some family down Chatham Kent way too, so that's pretty cool. So that is really a cool story. Tim, did you have something else there? I thought we had something to ask.
I just moved on to the third.
He's got his next beer.
Oh, I can't keep up.
He doesn't always follow the rules of the 3Beer podcast. The whole premise is to try 3 beers. Our guests get that, but Chris hasn't. I'm on to the Toadstool Stout. Can you just give us a recap of what it's all about here?
Yeah. So, your little thing about Belgian and their potatoes. Let's help them out. This is a sweet potato. I'm drinking the same one right now. It's a sweet potato stout.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
So about 80 pounds of sweet potatoes went into the mash. I got those from a local farmer. Actually, when I was a teenager, I worked for him. And just out of high school, I was sort of the all-around, go take this tractor over to this farm and go take this here, go take that there. And, I've always kind of gone back to the farm and helped anytime they need an extra guy or truck taken to Toronto or whatever. So I called them and said, can I get some? And they gave me 80 pounds of sweet potatoes. So And
Wow.
by gave me, I mean I traded for a little bit of beer, which is awesome.
I love how that works too. Like the whole,
so it's
the whole,
kind
it all
of an
works.
interesting flavor to it. The sweet potatoes really give it an interesting taste.
Yeah, it
It's kind
does.
of different.
I'm not normally a stout guy. I like that though. That's really good. That's really good. And what is that called? Sorry, guys.
This is the Toadstool Stout.
The Toadstool Stout.
Toadstool Stout, yeah.
We got to ask, because this is one of the questions that keeps coming up, is Natterjack Brewing. What is Natterjack, and how did the name come about?
So Natterjack is a European toad, and honestly, naming beers is a hard enough task, and then coming up with a brewery name is also very hard. And after Matt passed away, we were trying to think of what we're going to name the brewery, and I don't know, months and months of putting names down, and people think like, oh, what's this sound like? What's this sound like? And then finally one day we were like, well, Matt's famous beer that why we started this brewery is called Natterjack Toad, which is the pistachio beer. And so we just thought it was a good idea to name it Natterjack. So the Natterjack Toad came, and when we did the logo design, the label with Muskoka, they asked us what we wanted, and we gave them, so this jacked up toad is kind of our cartoon character of Matt. And so he was he wasn't that buff, but he liked weightlifting and the toad being his beer. And so it's just, a fun character for Matt.
Is the toad, and when I was in, I heard the story I heard was that the toad gets louder as the night goes on. What's that?
Yeah.
What's that twist?
So it says that this is Matt's description. So part of the Niagara College program is the marketing. So they had to market that beer for their final project. So Matt's marketing thing was that as the night goes on, the toad gets louder and louder, the same way that somebody would get louder and louder as they enjoy his fine brew. So
I love it. That is really cool. That is really cool. Tim, if you have nothing else, we can jump into the who would you rather have a beer with story.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. We always ask when we wrap up these interviews, who would you rather have a beer with? And you have to choose one, okay? So obviously with the Toad story, we're going to take a twist on this. Who would you rather have a beer with? Would it be Kermit the Frog, Frogger from the video game, or Senior Frogs? Which frog would you rather have a beer with?
Kermit.
I'm gonna say Kermit too.
You're gonna say Kermit. Timmer, what are you gonna say?
This is a tough one. I like the dodginess of Frogger. Senior Frogs. I don't want to go that way. But the dancing of Kermit the Frog, when he gets kind of like into it and his arms just start flying, that's the guy that I want to hang out with after some beers.
I got similar. Thanks for the comments. We're getting some people jumping in here too. The Kermit, I think, comes with baggage. There's something going on. And you couldn't hang out because I'm sure Miss Piggy would be Kirby would be right there, tracking him down.
Didn't think of that one.
Senior Frogs, known for debauchery, and that's not happening.
It's too much.
Frogger gets you out of dicey situations.
You're right.
I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Frogger on that one.
I feel like I've seen you be like Frogger at a brewery, trying to leave for the night.
When the bill comes, yeah.
Dodging that bill out the door.
That's
Been
so
there.
awesome. Danielle, Rachel, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Natterjack Brewing in Eagle, right at the corner. What road is that? It's Highway 3 and
Graham Road.
Graham Road.
76 Highway.
You can't miss it. You'll probably have to back into the parking lot, but they love that. That's
It'll
always
just be
entertaining.
another person to joke on the wall. It's all good.
Hey guys, thanks for the beers. We appreciate it, and a great story in memory of Matt. And thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
guys. Thank you so much. That is awesome. What a cool story there, Timmer, with
I love
those
it.
guys.
Man,
over
I
at
can't wait.
Natterjack.
I can't wait to get back out there again and just have a beer at their little bar. That's what I'm missing right now, buddy.
It is cool. And we're getting comments too. Let me see here. Vic just threw this up here. Definite highway through road trip, Kingsville, when COVID lets us. Great to discover these breweries. Thanks, guys. Good show. Thanks, Vic. We appreciate it. And we had Kingsville Brewery on last week. Again, a trip down Highway 3, and you can hit some wineries, some breweries. You got a lot of options.
It sounds like a bus trip. That sounds like a bus trip.
Should we have the first ever 3BeerPod? Oh,
somebody write that down.
Oh, boy.
Somebody put that in the comments. 3 Beer Podcast, number 3 Highway.
Yep.
Oh, man. This is something. We just need some restrictions lifted.
Sponsorships, too. Yep.
And some sponsors.
We're going to need to work on
We're going to need some things to make this happen. But, man, if you've ever been on a bus trip with some of the people that I know, you're going to want in on this bus trip.
That's for sure. Thanks, Natterjack. Of course, you can find Natterjack online. Natterjackbrewing.ca is their website, just outside of West Lorne Highway 3. And I've told this story before. People know this. It's my brother passed away too, and I know just anything that brings back that memory of that special someone, and this is a great way to honor it. And I think that's a really, really cool story. So thanks, Dan and Rachel for jumping on here tonight. Timmer, we had the handy link of the night. You want to share this?
I like that. Throw it up there.
There you go.
Beerfestival.ca. To be honest, I'm not sure if the beer festival is going to be running this year. But the link that they've got that shows beer delivery and local curbside pickup or local within the area, get on there. Support your local breweries, like we've been trying to do here. That's one of our goals right now, is to make sure our local breweries are supported, and that link will help you out, or try some different beers. This is a great time to order some new beers. Some great deals on delivery out there too. Get some beers delivered. Try some new beers. Dive into some new stuff, and let us know how it tastes.
Yeah, we had some comments on our Facebook page, which you can obviously probably see because that's probably where you're watching this right now. But some different links there too, and different breweries you can try out. So BJ's in for our bus tour, 3 Beer bus tour. We're gonna hit that up. Ebear's in, of course. Ebear's probably driving the bus.
He's driving.
Quakes is there too. Yeah. Got our back.
Great idea right there. Great idea of the night. Let's start that.
Timmer, after a couple beers, we have great ideas. There's never been a bad one.
We just need 3 beers.
That's all we need. That's all we need. All right. Thanks again to Natterjack for jumping on here tonight. Thanks to Forked River up in London. And you had Refined Fool.
I had Refined Fool. Yeah. Good stuff.
Sarnia tonight. They're big. Next week, we should mention too, because we do get comments. If anybody ever has an idea of who a guest should be, just reach out through our Facebook page, or Tim or I. You can reach out and say, hey, I got somebody, and we're always looking for a couple different angles. And it's not always going to be breweries. We have some different ideas too, some different people that we thought would be cool to come on and have a beverage with and just chat with. So
yeah, come on and jump on with us if you're interested or know somebody. It'd be awesome to chat with people talking beer.
For sure. We good, Timmer?
Yeah, we're good. Appreciate it, Chris. Good times tonight with Natterjack.
All right, back again next week, 7 o'clock on Tuesday night with the 3 Beer Pod. Appreciate everyone for tuning in here tonight. Thanks again. Don't drink and drive. Be smart. Wash your hands and all that jazz, and have a good time. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, guys.